I'd like to call this meeting of the Show City Council to order. Show that all council members are present with the exception of Councilman Hatch and Councilman Adams, and Councilwoman Wilson is hiding from us tonight. So tonight I've asked Councilman Clark to lead us in the invocation, and I'll lead us in the pledge. If you'd like to stand and join us, please.
Our Father in heaven, we're thankful for this opportunity we have to gather as the council for the city of Sholo. We are thankful for the conditions in which we are able to meet. We're thankful for the opportunity we have to discuss the items before us. We are grateful, Father, for the situation in which we find ourselves in peace and tranquility in our lands. We pray and ask that thou will please be with the people who are in Ukraine at this time, that thou will enlighten the leaders of both of those countries, that thou will help the peacekeeping forces, that they will be able to bring steel and order to that area, and that the people who are fleeing will find refuge and find comfort. We ask that thou will please be with our men and women in law enforcement and military, that thou will watch over and protect them and keep them safe. We ask that as we discuss the items before us tonight, that we will be able to do so in a manner that is pleasing unto thee, and that we might work in a cooperation with one another in an effort to do what is best for the citizens of this community and to bring about how thou would have us to live in this area. We are grateful for the way in which thou has blessed us, and we ask for those blessings to continue throughout the remainder of this year. And we ask this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag in the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. Thank you, Councilman Clark. Appreciate that.
Yes.
Okay, next item on the agenda is call to the public. Any citizen desire to speak on a matter that's within the jurisdiction of the city council may do so at this time. Seeing nobody sprint up here, we'll move the boilerplate. Next item on the agenda under special events is presentation of wildfire preparedness. Katrina Jenkins. And whoever else you
my entourage.
We'll let you introduce all your entourage if you'd like.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor and council members. I appreciate the opportunity this evening to speak to you and our community on behalf of everyone that is trying to prepare for the wildfire season. With me tonight, I have our Shola PD Commander, Westover. Too many W's in my world. I have Randy Chevalier and Josh Livermore from Timber Mesa. I also have Chief Swanee and Commander Tucker from the Sheriff's Office. So as you can see behind me, I have a whole team of people that have been working together relentlessly to prepare for this upcoming fire season. So with that, I'll begin. So one of the things that I'm deeply proud of every year is our pre and post wildfire season meeting. Our community comes together with agencies from Navajo County and Apache County, as well as our federal partners, state partners, and everyone in between to make sure that everybody is on the same page, understands the plan going forward, and how things are going to happen every year. We just had that last week. There'll be a press release coming out about it soon, so keep an eye out for that information. We also have started, sorry, let me back up a little bit. That meeting kicks off our weekly fire restrictions discussions. Those meetings will begin April 18th, will be the first one. The calendar invites are coming soon, I promise. At that point, we have our voting members meeting for the White Mountain Fire Restrictions Coordinating Group. That group meets, gets updates from various partners, and then we have our PIO discussion to make sure that the messaging that is going out from all of these agencies and then some is all on the same page. And then we have an update for all of our partners. We do try to maintain a high level of communication through print and social media so that our community members, our visitors, and anybody else that's traveling through the area all understand what is going on, what stage, if any, restrictions we're in, and all of the different things that we need them to understand. Every year we do try to disseminate that information through our trap line, what we call a trap line. It is a whole slew of businesses, entities, agencies that get this information and they post it on their business doors or in a common area that they can show to the public what's going on. Before you'll see the Drought Monitor. This is one of the indices that we look at every year to see how bad it's going to be. As you can see on the 2022 side, it's more yellow. There's a little hint of red up at the top. On the right is, my right, more red and burgundy. That's bad. That's exceptional and excessive drought. So as you can see, this year's drought is somewhat less. We always keep an eye on the drought because it is an ongoing problem. We are never not in drought around here. We are continuing to be below normal as far as our drought right now. So that's a pretty good sign. I won't say great because it's not all white. Okay. So here's where we get into some of those indices as we plan out for the next few months. May and April, April is on the right and May is on the left. You can see it kind of, the red is creeping up into Arizona. It comes west from the east side, from New Mexico. It comes to our side of the state first. And then in June is typically our worst month for fire danger. And as you can see, we're full-blown fire danger. We are expecting our above normal conditions for wildfire season. We were blessed last summer with a lot of monsoon rains, and that was great. But with the good comes some of the not so good, and that create a lot of fine fuels. Those fine fuels in the form of grasses are, as you can see, are really dry when you're driving around the area. We didn't get much of a snow this winter. We depend on that snow for a couple of reasons, not only the moisture, but also to pack down those fuels so that they are less likely to catch from stray sparks from chains, cigarette butts that we hope nobody is throwing out their windows. So as you can see, we are expecting those annual fire conditions to perk up here in the next couple of months. So in summary, on the fire condition side, again, extended outlook conditions are expected to be drier. Warmer conditions, our ERCs, or those energy release components, those are some of the other data that we use, is the temperature and time it takes for those fuels to burn. So we look at that. We base our decisions on all of these indices, including upcoming weather, upcoming visitors, and everything else. So it's not just a one-size-fits-all decision. It's not one person. It is all the agencies that we work with working together. So as I was saying, this slide talks about the fact that we do base our decisions on the science. We look at the ERCs, we look at the drought, we look at the storms coming, the wind conditions and red flag conditions. All of those are items that we get from our National Weather Service friends out of Flagstaff. They attend our weekly calls and they give that update. We also get weekly updates from Forest Service regarding how the forest conditions actually are. They are the boots on the ground experts. We rely on their information every single week. We have our local public safety officials. They know what's going out on the streets. They are out there patrolling. They are out there seeing it. Our fire officials are helping our federal and state partners on fires. So they are seeing it firsthand. So we have a representative from both law enforcement and local fire on the restrictions coordinating group. And then the 2 counties emergency management teams also participate. We also have BLM, the Bureau of Land Management. BIA Fort Apache has representation, so we do have that tribal partner because they are our neighbors and share those forest boundaries with us. So as you can see by this slide, it is a whole community effort every single year. This is another little graphic that I wanted to show the seals and logos for all the agencies that are represented before you tonight. So except for I forgot the sheriff's office. You can smack me later.
Nice.
He'll forgive me. He still likes me. It's fine. Okay. The next slide is important because I want our so we're prepared. We're preparing all the time. We train year round. We talk. We coordinate. But what our citizens can do is also just as valuable. So that ready, set, go is imperative. Our communities, our visitors and guests all need to make sure that they understand this language. Fortunately, all 15 counties in Arizona use the exact same language. Ready is 24/7, 365 days. Not just fire season, floods. We had that last year with the Millet's Well and the monsoons brought us excessive rains. So we had a lot of water running through a lot of our towns. Winter storms, it could be a man-made issue, like a hazardous materials spill, etc. So making sure that our citizens understand that the threat is not just one threat, it's all threats that they need to be prepared for. By that, they need to have a kit, some extra food, prescription medications, make sure their pets are considered. Important documents are always a must. A quick inventory of your house, those kinds of things. We have a lot of resources on our website that they can go and visit. There's one called a financial first aid kit. I highly recommend. Great stuff. Set means you've heard something going on in your area. And so now your ears are perked up. You're paying more attention to those vetted sources of information, such as the sheriff's office, Timber Mesa's social media, our social media, the city of Show Low, any of those sources that actually have proven actual information. And then go. Probably the most important one. If you hear that, if you get that message from our alert system that says go, we need you to go. Listen to our public safety officials. They're going to give you the directions that we need you to go. It's going to be blasted out on radio, print media, social media, everywhere we can get that out, it's going out. We've unfortunately had to experience this in the past, and we're on the 20th anniversary of the Rodeo Chenesky this fire this summer. I hope in my career I don't have to go through that again, but we're ready if it does happen. So I need our citizens to also pitch in, lend a hand, and get themselves ready, their families. An important factor is making sure you're ready not just at home, but at work. This was kind of pointed out to me as an initiative that make sure that if you are a full-time working position, your kids, your pets, you have an alternate plan to get them out or meet up with them at the evacuation shelter that'll be set up. Okay. Okay. So again, more having a kit, signing up for that alert system. Ready Navajo County is a system that we use countywide. It's easy to sign up. You go to navajocountyaz.gov/ready. It's on our website. You can, couple of clicks, takes 2 minutes to fill out the form and get signed up. You get to pick how you want to be notified, phone, email, cell phone, landline, however you choose to put it in, that's how you're going to get notifications. Making sure your home is ready, that you've prepared a defensible space. And again, there's more information on our website there. So, and then checking on our neighbors. Sometimes we have elderly neighbors that don't have family close by, and they might need an extra hand getting themselves ready. So it's important to follow up with them if you get a chance. And then get set. If you hear of something going on, get that kit to the door, or even better, into the car, so that if there is a message that comes out to go, you're ready to go. Again, listening to vetted sources, not the rumors, not the suppositions or the assumptions that tend to fly on social media. We understand that and we try to combat that as best as we can, but we do ask that people listen to the good messages. and go. If you have to go early, that's great. We encourage that. If you have livestock, large quantities of animals, you may want to consider moving them out early. Work with some of those agencies and partners that can help you. If an evacuation does occur, we'll open up the fairgrounds. We partner with them every year to house large animals and livestock. We've also used the Taylor Rodeo Grounds. So we'll use whatever means and methods are available to us, and then just get out as quickly and safely as possible. We don't want anybody to panic, and that's why the planning piece is so imperative. All right. Now I get to shut up and let these guys give their 2 minutes of fame. So, Chief?
Do I get to go first?
Sure.
Well, that's good because we're actually the first responders. They're the second responders, so we're right in line here. But Mayor, council, staff, thanks for giving us an opportunity to come and talk to you about as we prepare for wildfire season. As Katrina mentioned, all law enforcement agencies throughout the region are communicating, partnering, working together. It's important, it's imperative that everybody's on the same page. A case in point is the evacuation kits. Katrina and her staff put together these kits. We're cops, you know, sometimes you just got to do it with crayons, like I provided you the other day. And we have a standard checklist to go by, because when the pressure's on, you assign an officer to this neighborhood, we have a standard protocol in there. All the instructions are inside there. Every agency, whether it's in Pine Top, Show Low, Snowflake, wherever, if there's evacuations, the same protocol is going to be followed. The same colored tags are going to be used for the different statuses of those homes. And, a great thank you out to Katrina for kind of organizing that and putting that standardized system into place. But not only is law enforcement working in cooperation and partnership, we're working hand in hand with the fire service. I give them a lot of hard time, and they trust me. They throw it right back at me.
Pictures of you in turnout.
Yeah, there's some pictures of me in turnouts. But we do have a great camaraderie. We have a great working relationship with all the public safety entities here in this region. In my previous employment, I had an opportunity to work all around different parts of the state. And I can tell you right now, the partnerships between other law enforcement entities and law enforcement and other emergency services is not nearly as good as it is over here on this side of the state. And I just never could quite swallow why everybody's feuding against one another, because that's not how we are here in Navajo County. So I'm very grateful for that. And a lot of it goes to Katrina, who's brings everybody together, and we all work together. So that's all I have. And thank you very much.
Thanks, Chief.
I echo Chief Swanee's words. The City of Show Low Police Department stands ready to help protect and serve our community as something devastating like this occurs. I had my first exposure to these evacuation kits this last week with Kat, and learned about all the forms and tags and how this works. It's certainly not a huge issue in a huge city like Phoenix, but I understand the significance in a town like Show Low, right in the middle of the forest. We had a big meeting with all our federal and county and fire partners the week before last, and I was so impressed by how coordinated and unified this effort is. Chief Swanee nailed it, that we will be unified in our efforts, our communication, and our plan. So,
Thank you.
Last but definitely most not least.
Right?
Not least at all.
We just want to say thank you for having us here to participate in the conversation. Thanks to Katrina Emergency Management for pulling all these partners together. And it really is a partnership. I think you can all attest. Thinking about way back to the Rodeo Chetaskai, when a couple of the guys I see up here on the council, on the fire department working with, it's all about coming together and working together. I think the message I want to share today is the community preparedness. We talked a lot about Ready, Set, Go. But what can we do? What can our neighbors do? What can the community do to help prepare and get ready? Timber Mesa has a prevention division. You can call our prevention division at 928-537-5100. We'd love to come out and visit with you, give you some tips on FireWise or Ready, Set, Go, or Red Tag, Green Tag, different programs that exist out there. but it's time to clean up our yards, right? Keep the weeds knocked down. Katrina talked about the fine fuels. That's the carrier of fire. That's what's going to get the fires up in the ladder fuels and get it up in the canopies, start spreading the embers. So if we can keep those fine fuels knocked down, keep the weeds mowed. If you have a watered lawn, you can definitely water the lawn, but think about landscaping options. We're here to help, right? So give us a call. We'll love to send some individuals out. We'll give you some tips and help you be proactive to help us, right? Because we're going to respond, but it's going to take time. Chief Livermore is going to touch on some of the response pieces, but if we have that initial attack, right, we're going to send all of our resources. But if it gets up and running, we're going to have to start calling in state resources, and that takes time. So if we can be proactive in the approach to that, it's going to help us tremendously. So that's my plea to the community. Be proactive. If you need assistance, a lot of people know me. Call me. I'll help out where I can. Chief Livermore.
Thanks, Chief.
Evening. I just wanted to touch on a couple pieces related to response and preparation. As the operations chief, I have some responsibility over ensuring that our personnel are prepared and ready to respond and appropriate deployment. As prepared as we are, we definitely emphasize preparation and prevention, right? Ideally, we're looking to prevent these fires from even beginning, but when they do, and we treat every season as if it's going to be the worst season on record. That way we're prepared to respond, and that starts with how we train our employees. Every firefighter that comes through our agency is trained in at least the basic level of wildland fire response, and our firefighters that do respond and deploy on wildfire assignments in district and out of district do a rigorous pack test every year where they have to walk 3 miles with a weight vest. We do medical physicals to ensure they're prepared for the season, and then we do a pretty in-depth refresher process every year to ensure they're ready. Some of that it allows our employees to respond out of the district. One, to support the state's efforts in supporting other states and across Arizona in wildfire response, and it also is a little bit of a revenue source for our agency. We do support that. That being said, there is a certain time of the year that we are coming into where we hold those resources back, and we feel strongly that that's really a really important approach as we gauge our risk here locally, because resources become limited very fast when wildfires hit, and we have multiple fires across the county, or even our federal and state resources that are dedicated here at times get pulled out of our jurisdiction, out of our area for other fires. So the need for resources is really important during those couple months of the season. So we actually have personnel deployed right now to Tennessee, helping with fires there. Quite honestly, that was perfect timing. That unit's going to get back, and we're going to hold those resources here locally for the next couple months before we allow them to start deploying to other states and out of the area. And so, it's a commitment to the local risk. But we absolutely are ready to respond, but we I echo the message of prevention and take the actions that are necessary to prevent wildfires and from even beginning. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So just to wrap up, again, it's imperative that our citizens follow those preparedness steps as much as we do. I can't say it enough. The restrictions are in place not only for our visitors, but our locals as well. That is a universal rule. It's law of the land. When you come up here and you live here, those rules are in place because of the conditions. It's not to make anybody's life hard or difficult. It is simply just that the conditions are just that severe. So we appreciate all the cooperation from our citizens as well as our guests, and we're working on educating our guests and our visitors that do come up here and enjoy our summertime weather and activities, so that they understand that those restrictions do apply to them as well as those that live and work here too. So with that, I'll stop. And any questions?
I'll start off. I got a couple comments first. First of all, thank you guys. I think when you mentioned that, Chief Chevalier, about the Rodeo Chediskai fire, I was part of that program as well as Councilman Alsop, and some of the things we've learned since then, we had to go through a fire like that to learn what we learned, but I can tell you, I never left town. I was the liaison with the fire department in the city, and I never left town, but driving through your town and not a soul on the street, it was unbelievable. And I thought I obviously don't want to ever go through that again, but you talk about crimes. Our PD back then, they would drive all the neighborhoods and flashlights. And I think I had 2 crews staying at my house back then, but you see these lights going by your windows and you're thinking, what's going on? And then you get up and it's like, oh, all you see is ash. So it was pretty scary, but definitely don't want to go through that again. And I've got a lot of prevention around my house. I think right now my horses are doing a great job keeping everything down. So, but yeah, thank you guys for everything you do. And I know what we've learned 20 years ago, I think in a couple of months, June of this year,
June
every
18.
20 years. So it's amazing what we've learned over those 20 years, not just us, the state learned, now that we're all working together. Back then we'd call on Phoenix Fire and they go, we're not going in there. We've had a few of those go, there's a wildfire in there. They'd stay up on the highway. It's like, wait, we need your help down here. They would not come down here. Now they're all certified. So it's unfortunately that tragedy sparked the whole state and the whole region. Now, New Mexico, I think there's a huge fire in Texas that I believe some resources from here. I don't know Sholo, but I know some local headed to Texas today. So there's a lot of fires starting out in April, and I'm glad you guys are jumping on the bandwagon now, and we're probably never soon enough. We've experienced a lot of wildfires up here, and unfortunately, I'm pretty sure we all will continue, but the preventive, like you said, is awesome, and what we've learned in the past is phenomenal. So thank you guys, Katrina, everything you guys are doing makes you feel a little more comfortable. Vice Mayor?
I just want to ditto what you've said. We appreciate all of your work and dedication to this. We do not want to have that kind of event in our community or in our region. But I guess I have a question as to, you look at the maps and some of them are light colored in certain areas. How do we educate those people that are outside of the community or even our community members? Just because it's a lighter color doesn't mean that we're safe.
Exactly. That is a great question, and thank you. The education never stops. We are trying year round to reach not only, like I said, our local citizens, but the people that do come up here need to understand that those conditions do dry out. We did not get a green up this year. When I say that, I mean there's a lot of greener vegetation this year. We didn't get that. And so we work with state partners through Department of Emergency Management and Military Affairs and the statewide PIOs. We have a regional PIO group that Chief Chevalier and the Sheriff's Office participates in so that we can spread that message as wide and far as we can. And Grace also participates. Miss Payne is awesome. We love her.
Thank you. Councilman Alsop?
Katrina, I like your last couple of statements about people coming up from the valley to respect what we have to do up here. I think that's one of the hardest things that for them to understand, that we live in an environment that is, we have to protect it. And to have you come up to camp and enjoy like we want you to do, because it brings money up and everything, but to bring firewood up and try to start a fire and everything. I know there's been preventions of to get a hold of the other stores, Circle K's and stuff like that, to say, hey, don't sell firewood. And so I really like those two comments. On the Rodeo Chediskai fire, I remember that because I was in the communication end of that, setting up communications for the Forest Service. So that takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of manpower, and to keep all that stuff running so everybody gets paid if you're working that fire. So it's just, when you said 20 years, it's like, dang, it's been that long, but that was the worst thing we had to go through. When I left this town with my family, when I was driving towards Holbrook, I looked over and I told my wife, I said, we might not have a home to come back to. I mean, because that fire was coming over the mountains, and it was scary. It was a scary situation, but I tell you what, God had his hand in to stop it about a mile away from here, so it was good. I mean, everybody that came together for that is, I know we had Gila County Sheriff, we had all kinds of people, and when you drove down through, everybody was happy that Shoal still stood alive and can prosper. But like the mayor said, when I came through town and you got red smoke and nobody walking around, no birds flying, it's like, it's weird.
It's very
So,
weird.
But
It's
thank
very
you for everything you're doing and prevent that. But I do like that last part. We have to get that information off the mountain, tell them, hey, if you're coming up to visit and do the things, please understand what the rules are, so.
And I will say this, so yes, it is a twofold message. Not only do our visitors and guests need to be mindful of those restrictions and that they do apply, our locals need to understand that those rules also apply to them. Every year we have several citations issued, as our sheriff's office can attest, to local folks that say, oh, that doesn't apply to me. I live here. I know better. It does. It's for everybody. It's just like if you were to, my analogy is, if you were to go to London and try to drive a car, you wouldn't drive on the right-hand side of the street. You would drive on the left because that's the rule in their land. Same thing applies here. Our rules, our restrictions, our laws apply when you visit here, when you work here, when you live here. So we appreciate the support and encouragement that we've been afforded by your council. Thank you.
Clark, any quick comment?
Yeah, I just want to say, thank Katrina. First of all, I don't know if most of you know, she's also our interim health director right now. So she's pulling double duty and she's doing this, deputy. Oh, she's not the assistant. Okay. Deputy health director. I should probably know that, right? But I also want to thank all of our partners. As you've heard, this is a group effort. If you look at Navajo County, not only do we have a diverse group of people who live here, we have a diverse, wilderness, right? We have very tall pine trees on the south, and then we have like a desert up to the north. And it takes a cooperative effort to be able to handle all of that. I know a couple of years ago I was talking to Kat, and I think the Gila County emergency management person had 3 wildfires going at one time. And so that's a very real possibility in our community. We could have something like that happen. And so I hope that everybody takes the advice that's been given and make sure that they are proactive in their preventative measures and stuff like that. And I also want to thank, I know Supervisor Seymour's back there. I want to thank the county for making sure that this resource is available. I think that the county's probably the only ones who can have a full-time person who's an emergency management person who deals with this, all the time. And they're the ones who, pay the salary and make sure that that person has the training. And also there's a full team of Katrina Jenkins that work tirelessly on this. And so we know that that's an important matter here. So I want to thank Supervisor Seymour and the Board of Supervisors for making sure that those resources are available to all of the community and stuff like that. And I guess I have one follow-up question. Kat, we had a little bit of snow a week or so ago. Mm-hmm. Some people will think, well, we got snow. Why are we talking about fire season right now? Can you kind of answer that to the people at home?
So glad you asked that question, because I totally missed that opportunity in my presentation. Wildfire is now a year-round threat. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's a little more extreme in a couple of months, but it is actually a year-round threat. We've seen wildfires happen while it's snowing in other states. Our good friend Gene Bodwin traveled to a fire last year in Colorado. It was literally snowing on the fire. So moisture can happen. Fires can still happen when there's moisture in the air. So we definitely have to be alert year-round to that threat. Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you guys again. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Taking your time out of your evening to present. We appreciate you guys all.
Pleasure.
Be safe.
Hopefully we don't see you at any meeting in the future.
I second that.
Yeah.
We're all together. It's not good. All righty, next item on the agenda is consent calendar. Well, I'll look for a motion to proclaim April 22nd as Child Abuse Prevention Month, proclaim April 2022 as Fair Housing Month, proclaim April 10th, 2022 as Public Safety Telecommunication Week, and consideration of the minutes of the Shoal City Council regular meeting of March 15th, 2022. I entertain a motion to accept the calendar. Calendar's read. And a motion and a second. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign. At this time, I'll ask the city clerk if she'll read the proclamation proclaiming April 10th, Public Safety Telecommunication Week in the city of Show Low.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Whereas thousands of dedicated public safety telecommunications personnel daily serve the citizens of the United States and our community by answering their telephone calls for police, fire, and emergency medical services and dispatching the appropriate assistance as quickly as possible. And whereas the critical functions performed by these professional telecommunicators also include those related to other government divisions providing public safety telecommunications services, and whereas professional public safety telecommunicators work to improve the emergency response capabilities of these communication systems through their leadership and participation in training programs and other activities provided by professional organizations and learning institutions. And whereas America's public safety telecommunicators daily serve the public in countless ways without recognition by the beneficiaries of their services. Now, therefore, John Leach Jr., Mayor, on behalf of the Show Low City Council, does hereby proclaim the week of April 10th through 16th, 2022 as Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in the city of Show Low and encourages all citizens and public safety personnel to join in honoring and recognizing the public safety telecommunicators of the Show Low Police Department and throughout the nation and the vital contributions they make to the safety and well-being of our citizens.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Before I hand you this proclamation, if I can ask Commander to bring all his staff up here, we'd like to have you introduce each one of the dispatchers that showed up tonight. There might be a few that you might not know their names just yet. It looks like some new ones, but we'd sure like to meet all of you. And thank you all for coming. Awesome. And each one of them doesn't have to speak. So that would be good.
Except for Maria.
Except for Maria. Mr. Mayor loves to speak.
Right. Mayor, Council, Mr. Mooter, and team, thank you for having us tonight. I can't overstate the significance of this Telecommunications Week to recognize our dispatchers. I'm humbled to be part of their team. Our public often sees crisis in the community. They see a shooting or stabbing or domestic violence call. They see our police officers arrive and bring calm to the storm and make the scene safe. They see the firefighters come in and render aid. They see people transported in ambulances. They see truly heroic things day in and day out from our first responders. And I think as normal citizens, we often forget the significance of our dispatchers and our telecommunicators. And what they don't see is when that crisis is real time, they're calling our dispatchers. And they are in true crisis and they are emotional and they want help right now. And our dispatch team is truly, truly high level. They're not just trained here in Show Low in emergency management dispatching. They're in emergency fire. They don't only dispatch for Show Low, they dispatch for Snowflake and Taylor and Pinetop Lakeside, for our surrounding fire departments. They have a lot on their plate. And when they're receiving this information, they're getting pertinent information for our law enforcement officers. They're asking the questions that help our officers and firefighters arrive to that scene safely and understand what they're about to encounter. And they're giving first aid advice. They're teaching somebody real time how to perform CPR on somebody that's in the process of possibly dying. And as first responders, when that crisis ends, we get to debrief it and take a step aside and catch our breath sometimes and evaluate what happened. And our dispatchers just keep plugging away. And they're receiving more and more and more calls. And when we talk about first responders being heroes for our community, a first responder's hero is our dispatch team. And they keep us safe and they get us the information we need. And I'd like to recognize this team of very high level telecommunicators, our dispatchers. Kat Salazar is our communications manager, and I'll let her introduce her supervisors that work for her and the dispatchers that make us safe and successful.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Commander.
Commander. Thank you for having us all here tonight. When I heard that there was going to be a proclamation for the dispatchers for all week, that was really an amazing thing because I had not experienced that from agencies I had worked with before. The dispatchers, I've worked with so many dispatchers over the years, and I can honestly say that this team is among the best that I've ever seen. They are diligent, they're hardworking, they come in every day ready to do their jobs. One day I was working and one of our dispatchers, Desiree, was giving CPR instructions for 20 minutes waiting for fire to get there. They're an amazing group of I used to say ladies, but now we have a gentleman in our, so ladies and gentlemen. But just the fact that they're being honored with this proclamation was really, really amazing. And on behalf of them, we really appreciate the proclamation. So right now we have Maria and Amber, who are our supervisors, and they'll go ahead and introduce their members. We have 4 that weren't able to make it tonight. 2 are working the consoles and 2 weren't able to make it, but all the rest of our dispatchers are.
I'm Maria. I just wanted to really quick introduce my team. I have Marshall, who just started with us. He comes from Alaska, so we're excited to have him. I have Desiree. I have Robin, who comes from Yuma. And that's it. My other 2 girls are working on the console. And we want to say thank you for all the support you guys continuously give us. We really appreciate it.
Good evening. I'm Amber, one of the dispatch supervisors. And my team consists of Adriana, Sunny, got Donna, and Shayna, and we've also got Anik, and they are amazing. And I can tell you that this department is amazing. I came from a previous department, and I can't tell you how much it means to me to work for a department.
Thank you. Thank you guys for what you do. The few times that I've been in there, just watching, it amazes me. I don't know how you can concentrate on this while everything's going off. I don't get it. It takes a certain person like you guys do, but thank you guys for everything you do. It's absolutely amazing to watch you at work. And you're right. When you call a dispatcher, they got to be calm on that side, no matter what's going on the other side. And how you guys do that, I have no idea. But at this time, I'd like to present you with this proclamation. Somebody. Thank
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys again. We appreciate it very much. Donna wanted to talk, I can tell. Please. Okay, next item on the agenda under new business is consideration of application submitted by Stefan Wienow on behalf of Show Chamber of Commerce for special event liquor license for the 2022 Sholo Days on June 10th, 2022 at Frontier Field.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Stefan Wienow, representing the Sholo Chamber of Commerce, submitted an application for a special event liquor license for the 2022 Sholo Days at Frontier Field scheduled for June 10, 2022. The license will allow the Sholo Chamber of Commerce to sell alcohol during the event. There is an existing 6-foot chain link fence surrounding the Frontier Fields where the alcohol will be sold and consumed. One entrance and exit gate will be open for participants to leave and enter the area and will be manned by at least 4 and up to 8 security personnel provided by Arizona Rangers to ensure no alcoholic beverages enter or leave the fenced-in premises. When available, the Arizona Rangers will roam the field to provide additional security. The southwest corner of Frontier Fields will house the kids zone, and no alcohol will be allowed in this area. The Sholo Police Department performed a background check on the applicant and found nothing that would preclude approval of this special event liquor license. The application and action taken by the council will be forwarded to the Department of Liquor Licenses and Control. Unlike regular liquor licenses, the council's decision is final for such an application, and our applicant is here for any questions.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Councilman Alsop.
Stefan, thank you and the chamber for opening everything up and getting back on the Sholo days again and making Sholo have fun again instead of sitting in your house watching something. So I appreciate that the chamber is doing that, and hopefully it's a big success this year.
Looking forward to having a great event.
Ditto. It's nice to have it back. Any other comments?
I move to approve the application submitted by Stefan Winu for a special event liquor license for 2020 or 2022 Sholo Days on June 10th at Frontier Fields, Sholo, Arizona.
I have a motion. Got it.
Need to make one correction. It's the 10th is the beginning. It'll be on Saturday, the 11th will be the actual day.
For June 10th and 11th.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So you change that to your motion?
Yeah, I will move to approve the application submitted by Stefan Winu for a special event liquor license for the 2022 Sholo Days on June 10th and 11th at Frontier Fields, Sholo, Arizona.
A second.
And I got a second. Quick question. Is that what it says on the application?
The application says June 10th, Saturday, so we'll just change it to say June 11th, because it would only be one day, correct?
Correct. It is only on the
Okay.
day.
Okay. Okay, I got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Thank you,
very much,
Stefan.
Stefan.
Appreciate it. Good luck, buddy.
Stefan.
Next item on the agenda is consideration of award of construction contract for McNeil Acres and 11th Street Sewer Replacement, City of Sholo, project number S1122. It's the Himsaw Show.
Good evening.
Everybody else can
I
leave.
got a couple of these. Bear with me.
Just a few.
Bear with my allergies too. I try to get this out.
I hear you.
All right. City's fiscal year 2022-23 capital improvement plan budget includes about $790,000 for design and construction of a sewer line replacement project called McNeil Acres, and about $828,000 for a design construction of a sewer line or a sewer replacement project labeled 11th Street Sewer Replacement. These two projects are adjacent to each other and were combined to reduce costs for construction. The existing wastewater collection system consists of aging 6-inch clay pipe and brick manholes and is requiring more and more maintenance and repairs. The scope of the work includes installing approximately 8,000 linear feet of new 8-inch PVC sewer line, 29 concrete manholes, new sewer services, and removing and replacing the existing asphalt. The project was designed by Ironside Engineering with a construction estimate of $1.3 million. ADQ approvals to construct were obtained. The project was publicly bid in accordance with statutory requirements with the following results. Apache Underground Excavating at $1,504,125. Rawlings Specialty Contracting at $1,591,945. And Standard Construction at $2,520,606. Staff recommends awarding the construction contract for McNeil Acres and 11th Street Sewer Replacement Project to Sholo project number S1122 to the Apache Underground and Excavating in the amount not to exceed that $1,504,125. The bid tabulation for the work is attached. I'm available for any questions.
Thanks, Shane. Appreciate that. We can't wait till tomorrow because that price will go up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Kind of what we're seeing.
Any other comments or questions?
No, I guess I better make a motion
Hurry.
before the thing goes up. I move to award construction contract to McNeil Acres, 11th Street Sewer Replacement, City of Sholo project number S-1122 to Apache Underground Excavation in amount not to exceed $1,504,125.
Got a motion, got a second by Vice Mayor. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Next item on the agenda is consideration of award of construction contract for 5th and 6th place sewer main replacement. City of Sholo project number S1022. Mr. Himsaw.
City's capital improvement plan budget also includes $814,000 for design and construction of the sewer line replacement project labeled 5th and 6th place sewer replacement. And this is to be completed at the end of fiscal year 22 and beginning the fiscal year 2023. This project is located in the Nicholas subdivision, adjacent to the Nicholas Homestead School. The existing wastewater collection system is also a 6-inch clay pipe and brick manholes and is requiring more maintenance and repairs. The scope of the work includes installing about 4,000 linear feet of new 8-inch PVC sewer line, 18 new concrete manholes, new sewer service, and replacing the asphalt. The project was designed by Woodson Engineering with a construction estimate of $690,000. ADQ approvals to construct were obtained with the following bid results. Rawlings Specialty Contracting at $742,760. Western Grade LLC, $788,397. And Apache Underground and Excavating at $558,015. Staff recommends awarding this construction contract for the 5th and 6th place sewer main replacement, City of Shola project number S1022 to Rawlings Specialty Contracting in that amount not to exceed $742,760. The bid tabulation for the work is attached for that, and I'm available for questions again.
Vice Mayor.
So the previous project and this project are pretty close together. Will they be going simultaneously?
Hard to tell. Unfortunately, with our contractors these days, they're very busy, and sometimes their lead time to get started can be few months. What we'll likely do is we'll have the pre-construction meeting with each contractor, get their schedules, and see what we can do to really minimize the impact, because that is going to be two pretty large sewer projects going on this summer. So,
Adding to that, when you do that, can you kind of send us that in a memo as far as when we're doing all it? Because we probably don't want to do them all at the same time, do we?
Yeah, once again, we're kind of at the mercy of the contractors these
Whatever
days.
they decide,
kind of
that's
show up.
how we roll.
But the way this, we can help direct them to kind of start in certain areas. It might be easier to do and to kind of minimize how they affect each other for sure. We definitely need to make a point to get the 5th and 6th sewer really going this summer. We want that done before school starts again.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any questions, comments? Vice Mayor.
I move to award the construction contract for the 5th and 6th place sewer main replacement, City of Shola project number S1022 to Rawlings Specialty Contracting in an amount not to exceed $742,760.
I'll second that. Okay, I got a motion and a second. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Continuing on with the Hensaw Show. Item D, next item on the agenda, consideration of award of a construction contract for Meadow Pedestrian Path Phase 2, City of Shola project number R0622, and authorize associated budget transfers. This one's everybody's talking about, so
Hey, something besides a sewer project, huh?
this is exciting.
All right, the city's 2022 capital improvement budget included $200,000 in funding labeled Meadow Path Phase 2. This project is partially funded by an Arizona State Parks grant. The scope of the work includes extending the existing Meadow pedestrian path from its current termination to the trailhead parking lot behind Hampton Inn. The extension of the path will be an 8-foot wide asphalt path, approximately 1,800 linear feet long, including required culverts for flood irrigation drainage. The project was designed by city engineering staff with a construction estimate of $169,000. 3 contractors did attend the pre-bid meeting. However, only one bid was received. The project was publicly bid according to statutory requirements with the following results. Surface Contracting Incorporated, $218,990. Staff recommends awarding the construction contract for the Meadow Pedestrian Path Phase 2, City of Shola project number R0622 to Surface Contracting Incorporated in the amount not to exceed that $218,990 and authorize the associated budget transfers. The bid tabulations are attached and I'm available for any questions.
Couple comments. Have we used these guys before?
They have done work up here in the past, mainly paving for sub-paving subs for other contractors. I personally have not worked with them since I've been up here, but I have heard of them working up here.
And do you think no one else bid this because they're way too busy to do something like this?
That's what I'm starting to feel from the contractors. They're not even showing up to some of these pre-bids, just saying, I'm good for 6 to 8 months. Right. I can't fit it in. And this one had a tight schedule. Our goal to really get this one moving is May and June when it's dry. We don't want to be down there trying to build this thing on the monsoons. We'll just have to shut down. So we're really trying to let people know we need to get this done during the dry season.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, motions? Councilman Clark.
I'll move toward the construction contract for the Meadow Pedestrian Path Phase 2, City of Shola project number R-0622 to Surface Contracting Incorporated in amount not to exceed $218,990.00 and authorize the associated budget transfers.
I got a motion, a second by Vice Mayor. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign, motion passed.
You know, I would just want to say one thing. A lot of people likes that path. Now, since we're increasing it and taking it further, they're loving it. I mean, they're excited about how the staff and everybody else has made that meadow look, and now the parkway and walking and everything else, and also the fishing opportunities. It just they love it. So I thank you for everything you've done on that.
I use it too. I enjoy it.
We were by there about a week ago, and it's funny because where the path's going to go, it's already bent. The grass is already mowed down because people keep on walking.
I was out
till
there
they
too.
get to the end.
Just
So
follow the path. It's already graded.
it's pretty exciting. All righty, next item on the agenda is consideration of award of construction contract for Frontier Park Ramada improvements. Mr. Henshaw.
Okay, the upcoming Frontier Park improvements include a parking lot expansion, splash pad, and an all-inclusive playground. With the increase in public use of the park, staff felt it was necessary to install ramadas for shade and day use for the public. 3 ramadas will be installed, 2 12-foot by 12-foot ramadas near the splash pad, and 1 12-foot by 24-foot ramada located closer to the playground. The city utilized a Mojave Cooperative Purchasing Contract for the purchase and installation of the ramadas. Staff recommends awarding the construction contract for Frontier Park Ramada improvements to Extra Play, Inc. in the amount not to exceed $95,425.72. And there is a exhibit that has the kind of the rough locations of the 3 ramadas we will be installing.
And there's also one in the middle there, correct?
That's correct. So the middle building there, kind of on top of everything, the purple one, that is going to be our structure that houses all of our splash pad equipment, the pumps, the filters, et cetera. They're also extending the roof off of that to have another ramada attached to it. So that is our mechanical room for the splash pad with an extended roof ramada. So, cool.
Any other questions, comments, or motions? Vice Mayor.
I move to award the construction contract for the Frontier Park Ramada improvements to Exerplay Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $95,425.72.
Got a motion, need a second? Councilman also, second. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign, motion passed. Thank you, sir. Your throat sore yet? Okay, next item. Do what?
He's young.
Yeah, he's young. Next item on the agenda is consideration and acceptance of a resignation of City Councilman Don Wilson. I guess before we do that, we'll let you speak a little bit first, and then after you're done, we can table this to another meeting if we want. So, ex-Councilwoman Wilson.
Well, thank you, Mayor, Council, City staff. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. I just wanted to say I'm very saddened to leave this council. I wasn't going to do this. Although I'm no longer going to be on the council, I want you to know I'm still going to fight for this community. I'm still going to work to improve this community. She's taking pictures, and I'm like, you have to do that later. Because I love our community and I love what you guys do. And so getting to know all of you and working with all of you and learning from all of you, it's made me a better person. And I wish that Councilman Adams and Hatch were here so I could say goodbye. But you know what? It's not really goodbye because I'm still here and I'm going to be here at these meetings every chance I get to keep in contact with what our city is doing and what the council is doing. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for allowing me to serve, and thank you to the citizens for allowing me to serve, and thank you for all the people that come to our meetings, and I hope more will come. Anyway, I'm grateful and I'm honored to have served with all of you. I think you're all wonderful and I love you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Before I before I entertain a motion to accept her resignation, you know, I remember when you first got on the city council, and believe this or not, I thought she was too shy. Because she would just sit there. It was like, well, come on, Dawn, get involved, get involved. But boy, once she got comfortable and got involved, you know, she fit in like a good shoe. So I appreciate everything you did on the council. A good boot, I mean, not a shoe. I don't wear shoes. A good boot. So, I mean, I appreciate you obviously running for city council and getting elected, and looking forward to see what your future holds. And of course, I told you the other day, I wish you luck on your new adventure, running for JP. I could go ahead and say that it's kind of official, but we are going to miss you up here. And I appreciate how you fit in with all of us, because some of us you really didn't know that well. So
Yeah.
it was nice how you fit in with this group. Appreciate everything you did for us.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor.
Dawn, it's been a pleasure getting to know you, and I was really happy that you ran for city council and we were able to share that opportunity. I know you have a good heart and really have a deep concern and care for our community and its citizens. So whatever direction you go, I wish you the very best in your future endeavors, and we welcome you back anytime.
Thank you.
Councilman Alsop, any comments?
Well, you've been a pleasure to work with. Before you was elected, you came to a lot of city council meetings. You looked and seen what was going on, and you went to a lot of planning and zoning meetings. So you can see what was going on in the city and the movement that we were making and the decisions that were being made that you wanted to be in. But then when we started having our study sessions and our retreats and stuff, that's when I really believe you opened up and you started asking questions to get more involved into what your role was going to be as a city council. And you did a great job. You asked questions, you fought for the things you needed to fight for, and you voiced your opinion. And that's what this council is all about, is to voice your opinion and to watch out for people's money. That, you know, that's why they elected you to do. And you did a great job of doing it. So all I can do is congratulate you for everything you've done here. And hopefully the other part is going to be great too.
Yeah, thank you.
Comments?
Well, everything I wrote down was like a roast. I thought we got a roaster. Just kidding.
We don't have time.
Just kidding.
There's a roast on.
Oh, yeah.
Her boot don't fit.
Yeah. No, Don, I wanted to say thank you for stepping up and serving. There's so many people who don't do that. And I think that when you talked to me, you know, Dawn and I worked together, and she told me she was running for city council. She came, like, you know, Councilman Alsop said, she came to every meeting that we had. She came, she put her best foot forward, and she will outwork anybody I know. She will put the time and the energy and the effort in to make sure that if there's something that you don't understand, you will get the information. And we're really fortunate to have you have served the time that you did. I wish you could serve out your entire term. The people who voted for you and helped put you on the council, they got their money's worth by voting for you, because you did a phenomenal job. And I'm going to miss, you know, having have you sit here and kind of talk and chat during meetings and stuff like that. But I know that what you're doing right now, I think you'll do a great job there as well. So I wish you the best of luck. And I kind of feel like this is a little bit of a eulogy, but I'll probably see you tomorrow at the office. So you'll do a great job. So
I almost ran back up and put my name tag on here and said, okay.
best of luck, Don.
Don, thank you again and good luck.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. At this time, I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of City Councilman Don Wilson. Got a second by Vice Mayor. All those in favor? All those opposed? Oh, that's wrong hand, so it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Motion passed. Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
Appreciate everything very much. Yeah, absolutely. We don't shake hands, we hug. That's
I know. Thank you.
Thanks, Don. Appreciate everything. Okay, next item on the agenda is summary of current event.
How are we going to fill that slot?
Oh, never mind. Just a reminder. So what we want to do is our meeting that's Thursday, if we can come like 15, 20 minutes early Thursday, and we'll go over with city attorney on what the process is for us filling that vacancy. So we're not going to do it tonight because we need to we need to understand how we can do it, and we don't have to do it tonight. We have to do it next week. We have time to figure out how we want to do it as a council. So plus we need some more council members here to make sure we make that decision. But if we can come about 15 minutes early, I think our meeting's at 6.
You have a 6 o'clock meeting. We'd probably suggest let's try to get together at 5:30 if that works for everybody.
If we can get here about 5:30 so we can meet with city attorney so we can figure out how the process is.
Great.
Sorry about that. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, summary of current events.
Well, it's really exciting to see the numbers of COVID going down in our county. So everybody's starting to get back to some semblance of normalcy. We appreciate all of our citizens and their cooperation with the recommendations that we had to protect each other. Again, we appreciate you and we hope that you all stay safe and healthy. And it's exciting to see those numbers going down. And then I apologize for my tardiness.
We're glad you're here, for sure. And we're glad that this things are going down. You're a little calmer. Councilman also.
Today I just kind of seen something that I was kind of proud of. So I'd like to have the commander to let the chief know that I was witnessed the senior patrol going through different parking lots at different stores and looking at vehicles that were parked in the handicap spot that shouldn't be there. And I think that's one thing that just burns me is when somebody that's in good health parks and a handicap just to park closer and people that really need it can't use it. Today I witnessed the officer roll down the window and say, "Where's your card at?" And the lady said, "What's in?" She says, "Not hanging up. It's got to be hanging up." And explain to her, what's going on. So I want to thank them for that, but on the other hand, even if they have the cards and the license plate, I've still seen people utilize their family's car and they got excellent health and they can walk, they can run and still park on those things. So I want to thank the senior patrol for going and at least making an effort to handle that for the people that need those spaces. So thank you again, and please tell the chief thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
Yeah, so I just want to say the Shola Unified School District is putting on The Little Mermaid. They will be doing those performances on April 28th through the 30th, and then the next weekend, May 5th through the 6th. The show times are at 7 p.m. On May 7th, they're having a matinee as well as a performance at 7 p.m. So tickets can be bought at the door, or you can reach out to the Performing Arts Department at the high school to get those tickets. I know that the kids have been working really hard. I have 2 students who are in that right now, and they're really excited about it. So I'd invite all the community members to go out and catch that wonderful production. So,
thank you, Councilman Clark. I just got one thing. Well, I got a few I can bring up, but due to time, the first full weekend in May is the Shola Barbecue Throwdown. Friday will be the state contest. Will be Friday. I believe we got some live music Friday afternoon. Saturday is the 4-meat contest. We're going to have live music, free kids zone. So come on out to Frontier Park the first full weekend in May. Also, real quick, the last weekend in April is the Darren Reed Scholarship Foundation dinner at the Elks Lodge. So if you don't have any tickets, you want to attend that, that'll be the last Saturday in May, I believe the 30th. Let me look, the 30th. So
April, right?
April 30th, yeah, sorry. And then I got the privilege of going over to the Little League opening ceremony Saturday, and besides the stuff that's floating in the air that kind of almost couldn't make it back to my house. I only live about 1.5 miles away. We walked there and we were walking back and didn't know if I was going to make it because of all this pollen. But I can tell you one thing, it makes you so proud when you walk up to that ball field and see all those kids and families and balloons and games. It just, I walk up with goosebumps and I really don't go to that because I feel I need to talk or do anything like that, but they always make me feel at home when I do go to that. But it so makes you proud, not just being the mayor, proud to be a citizen of Shola. So if you get a chance, they usually do it the first weekend, the first Saturday in April. But if you ever get the chance and just go and watch, it's absolutely amazing. And I remember the days when I used to coach my youngest son or my sons in T-ball and to watch these kids that are so tiny swing that bat, and it brings back a lot of memories. And I actually high-fived every single one of those players. So they were pretty amazed that I would stand there all day and high-five every team that walked through. But it was fun. But I could tell you, it makes you proud to belong to Shoal, that's for sure. Anyway, thank you. City Manager.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Just a couple items. The Recreation Department will host their annual Easter event this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. for ages 10 and under. That'll be at the senior field at the Shoal City Park. And for more information on that, you can call 532-4140. Our annual MLK, Martin Luther King Day of Service, that's where the volunteers work on a community project, is Saturday, April 30th. We'll meet at 9 a.m. at the City Hall for work assignments, which will involve cleaning up the sides of the roads, the trash on the roads around the city. And if you want more information on that, it's 532-4014. Again, that's April 30th at 9 a.m. at City Hall. And just, and I think everybody's aware based on the agenda tonight, but we have a lot of public works projects going around the city. More of them will be starting after tonight's action. The contractors are continuing on the 4th and 8th Avenue projects. And City Campus parking lot is continuing. They're hoping to be able to pave that parking lot within the next 2 to 3 weeks, which will be a good benefit to us, a good addition to that campus. Also, the pad at the splash pad and playground is under construction, and the lights in the parking lot. So hopefully, what's slowing that down a little bit is the supply chain issues. So we're hopeful to get that done by late summer, at least with all of it.
Thanks,
Thank
City
you.
Manager. Hate to ask you this, but any news on 260? Do we know a starting date on that?
260, they're starting their weekly meetings, I believe, starting next week. So they're getting ramped up to start back on that.
Well, I just noticed that there were some signs coming from Pine Top Inn that says construction ahead, and it's like, where? So soon.
There'll be a lot of construction there. They will be doing a lot more concrete work and rebuilding the intersection at Shoal Lake Road, Cub Lake Road, and White Mountain Road.
So I'll do another be patient video so my wife can laugh
Very
at
be
me.
patient on that one.
I did that last one last year and she laughed. It was a comedy show, but schedule of meetings other than the one we have this Thursday at 5:30. I'm a little early so we can discuss replacement of Councilwoman Don Wilson, not Councilwoman Wilson. Other than that,
Yeah, that meeting will be at 5:30, but the town hall and study session for the budget will be at 6 o'clock. If the council could plan on staying for 2 or 3 hours, we will try to get through the budget. If not, we have other dates scheduled for that.
cool. That's in this format.
Here at the council chambers, yes.
Any other questions, comments? Thank you guys for coming. Appreciate it. A little long of a meeting that we're used to, but I appreciate everybody attending. There's no other business before this council. I'll adjourn this meeting.